You ever notice how comfort feels good until it starts to rot you from the inside? People say they want change, but they want it without risk, without pain, without loss. They want growth, but they're not willing to leave the ground. The safe zone feels peaceful, but it's the quietest prison ever built. You wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat, until one day you realize you've built a perfect routine for regret. I once met a man who told me, I did everything right, but I feel nothing. That's because doing everything right is not the same as living. You can play it safe your whole life and still lose, because life doesn't reward safety, it rewards courage. You don't have to jump off cliffs. You just have to jump into life. The risk isn't falling. The real risk is never flying. Listen, the world doesn't punish failure as much as it punishes fear. Fear makes you play small, keeps you hidden, quiet, average. And average? It's just another word for forgotten. You think staying safe will protect you, but safety has a price. Your potential. Every time you say maybe later, you hand a piece of your future to fear. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the richest. But you do have to be the boldest. Because bold people build empires. Cautious people build excuses. The risk of failing is real, but the pain of never trying, that's eternal. When you play small, you rob the world of what only you could give. So stop shrinking to fit into spaces you've outgrown. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to break through. Every failure you fear is just a rehearsal for greatness. Falling isn't the end. It's evidence you tried. When you fall, don't fall back on excuses. Fall forward. Because when you fall forward, you still move closer to the goal. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before the light bulb worked. Each failure wasn't defeat. It was data. And that's how winners think. Every loss is a lesson, not a label. You can't avoid pain. But you can choose your pain. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One builds you. The other breaks you. So next time life knocks you down, smile and whisper, "Good shot." Then get back up and fall forward again. You know what's scary? Not monsters, not failure, not death. What's scary is looking in the mirror and realizing you don't trust yourself anymore. You said you'd start. You didn't. You said you'd change. You didn't. You said tomorrow, and it became a graveyard of broken promises. That's how self-doubt is born. Not from what others say, but from what you don't do. You can't lie to the mirror. It knows. So tonight, when you look at yourself, ask, can I count on me? Because until the answer is yes, you'll keep running from your reflection. But once it becomes yes, once you rebuild that trust, no storm, no critic, no loss can stop you again. Every great story begins with one insane decision. The decision to jump, even when the landing isn't guaranteed. Faith isn't knowing it will work. Faith is believing it's worth the risk even if it doesn't. When I quit my safe job to chase my dream, people called me crazy. Maybe I was, but I'd rather die chasing purpose than live quietly in comfort. The leap hurts. The air is cold. The fear is real. But that's where life begins, after you leap. Don't ask, what if I fall? Ask, what if I fly? You can't grab the gold if you won't let go of the plastic. Every great thing demands a trade. You want success? Sacrifice comfort. You want peace? Sacrifice chaos. You want legacy? Sacrifice excuses. Every day you delay, you're trading diamonds for dust. Sacrifice something today for a better tomorrow. Cut off what keeps you crawling so you can start flying. The future you want is expensive. The currency? Your old sea? They told you success was money, fame, applause. But real success is peace of mind. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I did my best and I didn't sell my soul. You can win every trophy and still lose your heart. You can gain the world and lose your worth. So before you chase more, define what enough means to you. Success isn't about having everything. It's about having meaning in everything. You can't outrun time, but you can dance with it. Stop rushing to win and start learning to live. Every second you waste in fear is a second stolen from purpose. You've got 24 hours. Spend them with meaning. Build something. Love deeply. Speak truth. Risk boldly. Time's not your enemy. It's your stage. And one day the curtain will close. So while you're here, perform like your soul's on fire. Take the risk. Live fully. Leave empty, because the grave doesn't need your dreams. The world does. Don't die with your potential still inside you. Take the risk. Live fully. Love wildly. And when they ask what happened to you, tell them, I stopped surviving. I started living.